Okay, this video is all about powers of 10, but with negative exponents. So in the last video, you kind of got a refresher of positive exponents, and we left off with 10 to the 0 power, which equals 1. So now we're going to look at, okay, what does 10 to the negative 1 power equal? So let's type that in the calculator. So we're going to type in 10, we're going to hit the A to the B power button, and then we're going to type in negative 1. And that's going to give us 0.1 as our decimal. So if we think about 0.1 and read that with place value, that would be 1/10. So instead of multiplying by tens this time, we're going to multiply by 1/10. So as a fraction, we're going to write that as 1 over 10. But then we're also going to show that as 1 over 10 to the first power. So notice we took that 10 to the negative 1 and we kind of dropped it into the denominator of the fraction. And when we do that, when you drop that number into the denominator, that takes away the negative. So we're not going to be dealing with any negative exponents in denominators. So the next one is 10 to the negative 2 power. So that means we're going to multiply 1/10 twice. So then we're going to write that as 1 over, well, I know 1/10 times 1/10 is 100. And notice at the top where we have 10 to the second power, that's 100 over 1. So we're just kind of inverting that when we're talking about negative exponents. So we're also going to write that fraction as 1 over 10 to the second power because 100 is simplified to 10 to the second power. And then as a decimal, we can type that in the calculator. 10, hit the AB button, type in negative 2, and we get 0.01. I had a student last year who pointed out that 10 to the negative 1 power looked like 10 backwards with the decimal. So 10 to the negative 2 looks like 100 backwards with the decimal. So 10 to the negative 3 power, that means we're going to do 1/10 times 1/10 times 1/10. And again, if you look back at the top, 10 to the third power had 3 tens. 10 to the negative 3 power has 3 1/10ths. So now we're going to write that as 1 over 1,000. And if you also look back at the top, 10 to the third power was 1,000 over 1. So 10 to the negative 3 power is 1 over 1,000. And then we're also going to write it as 1 over 10 to the third power. And so if we follow that pattern, it's going to be 0.001 to where it looks like 1,000 written backwards. So then the next one is 10 to the negative 4 power. So that's 1/10 4 times. So then that's going to be 1 over 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So that's 10,000. 1 over 10 to the fourth power. And then 0.0001. The last one is 10 to the negative 5 power, and that one's done for you. There is, I don't know why it goes to eraser sometimes. So we have 1/10, 5 times. So then we also have 5 zeros in the denominator, and then 1 over 10 to the fifth power. Notice that this whole column, I'm going to try to highlight. This whole column matches these numbers in the denominator without the negative exponent. If you still have questions, please reach out to your teacher.